So the question, guys, is the 46-step system that we talked about earlier, is that available on my website? And yes, it is. So, and it's in the book too, okay? It's both. So it's in Success with Listings. Remember, that's a 430-page comprehensive book, and it goes through the 46 steps. And then also, if you just want the PDF of it so that you can kind of hang that up in your office and kind of familiarize yourself with it, then you can go to knolly.com, Knolly.com, and you'll go to the book, Success with Listings. Go to the book section, scroll down to where it says Success with Listings, and right underneath that, you'll see a link where you can download the book resources. Okay, and it's not just that 46-step system, but it's also the goals calculator that we just went through. You'll be able to download that, as an Excel. And there's several other free downloads that are there as well. Trust me, I wouldn't give away anybody else's book for free. They'd probably get after me for that. But yeah, it's my book. People always wanted to pick my brain. They say, Knolly, I want to pick your brain, how you did this. Well, I picked it. It took 430 pages, okay? And that's kind of my standard go-to because, I don't really do coaching for money anymore, I'm 100%, 1000% committed to EXP. And so I'm a leader, a trainer here. 90+% of what I do is free. I don't charge for it. So that's the reason why I wrote it down, because my time is very limited. And but the book you can take with you anywhere you want. It's averaging 5 stars on Amazon. So if you want the printed copy, you can do that, or you can just download it on my website. So Corey Joseph is asking, how do I get more appointments? Well, appointments starts with lead generation. Remember, lead generation is step 1 in the 46 steps. Is generate the lead, okay? But let me also say this, Corey. The last thing you want right now, if you don't know the rest of this stuff, is a listing appointment, okay? Because here's the problem. Let's say I send you out on 3 listing appointments. What are you gonna say? How are you gonna say it? Do you have the tools in place? Do you know what to tell the seller? So you don't want to, a lot of people just want at-bats. They're like, man, put me up to bat, okay? But when they get up to the bat, they've never perfected their swing. They don't really know the rules of the game, and they're gonna strike out. And that's no fun either. So what Uncle Knolly does is he teaches you the rules of the game, how to play the game, and how to win the game, and then we put you at bat, if that makes sense, okay? So we're gonna study how to get more appointments. And by the way, if you wanna get more appointments, my book, Success with Listings, is gonna help you do that, and so is this series as well. But I want you first I want you to, it all starts with belief, and it all starts with you setting the goal. Okay? If you don't know where you're going, then any road will lead you there. Okay, that's Alice in Wonderland. Okay? If you don't know where you're going, then any road will lead you there. So setting and knowing your goals is very critical, because that's where it all begins. But that's a great question. We're going to cover that more in part 4. The listings have to sell, but you have to, the thing is, you've got to have goals first. That's where no business is ever launched without a business plan. Okay? So when you put your goals down, in other words, you're putting it out to the universe. You're putting it out, this is what I want to do. This is my goal. This is what I'm committed to. Okay? So that's where success begins, guys. You have to have a goal. And I say you should have a lofty goal. So if this is not making sense to you, or you guys have never done your goals before, don't worry about it. Just go to my book, read chapter 4. First read chapter 3, okay, which is called Setting and Reaching Your Goals. Read chapter 3, and then read chapter 4, which is called Knowing Your Numbers, and all of this will start to make sense, okay? Is the quote, time on the task over time beats hard work every time. Yeah, not time on the task all the time, it's time on the task over time. Okay, time on the task over time. So what you want to think about when you think about that phrase, Gary Keller used to teach this all the time, is you want to think about little by little. Little by little. Rome was not built overnight, okay? And you're not going to go out here and do this overnight. Don't worry about it. Take time. When you look at nature, a tree doesn't just go from a seed to a tree. It takes its time to get where it needs to go. And so you get, now some of you guys are like, I don't have time, I need money now. I get that. I got your back, don't worry, we'll get through this. What I would say is most of success in this business is psychology, okay? Most success in lead generation is psychology. So yeah, you've got to generate the listing first, so at least in that, we're on the same page. But yeah, from the South African market's going to be completely different. I will. Most of what I teach is going to be more aligned with the U.S. and the Canadian market. But I will say this: I was just talking to a gentleman in South Africa who has 25 agents under him. He and I were talking on Saturday for about an hour, and he is following my system, and he's getting a lot of success with it. So I would say take what you can, and then the rest of it you're going to have to tweak for your country. Absolutely. What I used to teach when I first got in the business, I read a book called Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Okay, Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Still a good book. I like the book by Gary Keller. And so, by the way, I was recruited to Keller Williams by Gary Keller, and I was there for 10 years. I was a trainer, maps coach, and everything else. And so, you know, in that book, what Gary would teach us is that you would need to lead generate from 9 o'clock to noon, 5 days a week. Okay, 5 days a week. So I started teaching my students to do that, 9 to noon every single day for 5 hours. For 5 days. But here's what I found, Edwin, is that most of my students wouldn't do it. I don't know why they wouldn't do it, but they wouldn't do it. They didn't have the discipline. So I learned that you could actually do this business in 2 hours a day. You could do the lead generation in 2 hours a day instead of 3, okay? And it's the same principle of, have you ever known that you're gonna go out of town, you're gonna be gone for 2 weeks, or you're gonna be on vacation for 1 week, and you got 3 times as much done the day before as you had gotten done the previous 4 days, right? You got as much done the day before you went out of town as you did the previous 4 days. Why is that? Well, it's all psychology. So when our brain knows that we have a time block for a specific activity, what immediately you get into Pareto's principle. Remember, 80% or only 20% of the things that you're doing will result in 80% of your success. Okay, so you start automatically cutting out things that are not important and so on. So really, if you follow my system that I teach in the book, and you lead generate from 9 o'clock to 11, Monday through Thursday, you'll be able to crush it in this business. 8 hours a week of lead generation. That's it. That's all you need. But you've got to be doing the right things. See, success is about doing the right things in the right order. Remember, I've got another book called Triple My Listings. Okay, what's the book called? Triple My Listings. Okay. And I wrote that book because many of the people in my revenue share group, we're called Mentorship Masters, is the name of our group here at EXP. Many of the people in my group were asking, Knolly, how do I get more listing leads? How do I get more listing leads? So in this book, I wrote out 27 marketing ideas for free. What kind of leads are they? Free seller leads. And so that when you go into your lead generation bunker at 9 o'clock in the morning, okay, you'll have exactly what you're supposed to be doing in your lead generation bunker. It's not all about making phone calls either, guys. I've never made a cold call in my career. Let me say it again. I've never made a cold call in my career, and I've done over 1,200 deals. So it's not all about, now some people love making cold calls, and for them they should focus on that. So you really want to lead generate. I taught this last week, but you want to lead generate to your personality profile.